sometimes you find yourself on a list, and it's a good thing. Well, if you saw the last video, we did an unboxing. We got something in the mail from Chatham Imports. It's a very good thing.
Yep. And if you know, you know.
Yeah, and if you don't, go check it out. But until then, just wait, because we have another box to open. Ready? Go!
Nope, I felt peanuts crush. Guesses on the packing peanuts? Yep.
Don't eat the packing peanuts.
They're not Cheetos.
Here we go. Ooh, a letter. Snap. It is what you thought it was.
Snap indeed. Oh my goodness. It's got fishnets on even. Should we get into this?
Yeah. Hello everyone and welcome to this unboxing episode of the Savor the Burn podcast. Look what we found.
2025 release of the Kentucky Straight Rye. 10-year.
Holy hot diggity. Yeah, and we have a little letter that came with it. I'm going to get into that here pretty soon, but I guess if it's a Michter's episode, I got to throw on the Michter's hat.
Yeah.
So there we go. Now it's official. I love goth girls and my Michter's hat. Hopefully it's straight on. Is it straight? Is it level? I don't know. I never can tell. Well, thank you for following us on YouTube. If you're following us on YouTube, definitely click subscribe and click that bell notification to stay on up to date on all things Savor the Burn. If you're on any of the audio-only podcast apps of choice, thank you for following along with us right there. I am all over the place. I'm so excited to get into this bottle.
Yeah,
I can't even think so. I'm like, whiskey. That's all, folks. No.
Whiskey.
Yeah. I want to get into reading this letter.
My belly.
Yeah, so you got the notification that something was on its way.
First off, it doesn't take anyone any amount of time if you've watched any episodes to realialize we are huge fans of Michter's.
Yeah,
and
it's hard not to fangirl on them.
Such a great
quality products
all
across the board,
from their core offering all the way up to the hard to find bottles. And so they have been great to us, and it has been a fun journey so far. And I got notification that this was on the way, and the box came in the mail today, right before I got home from work. So
so he called me up. He's like, "Hey, you need to come over here." Okay,
let's do this.
So here I am.
This is the Michter's 2025 release, 10-year Kentucky Straight Rye whiskey.
Nice.
Comes in at 92.8 proof.
Yeah.
It's 10-year age statement, but hopefully somewhere in the letter and the things it talks about it, but if I know Michter's, it's probably overaged. But what it means is their product is 10 years, so we know that this is nothing younger than 10 years. So the cooperage on this is fire-charred New American white oak barrels. Nothing new, nothing out of the ordinary there. Every single one of their rye products, whether it's the US 1 core rye or their 10-year or their barrel strength or any of their ryes, all of their ryes are single barrel. And I think that is really, really cool. One of our most limited production items, Michter's 10-year single-barrel Kentucky Straight Rye, continues the legacy of America's first whiskey variety rye from America's first whiskey company, Michter's, originally known as Shanks. After a nearly 3-year absence from the market, Michter's then master distiller Willie Pratt finally gave the green light for the re-release of Michter's 10-year straight rye in April 2014.
That's wild.
And we have a letter that came with the bottle.
I think I'll get into that now.
Get into that, and maybe I'll
pop
you
in
can
do the honors there. It says we got a letter with the letterhead from Michter's here. Top line: the world's most admired whiskey announces 2025 release of the Michter's 10-year rye, Louisville, Kentucky, May 20th, 2025. So that was, not quite a month ago. But
pause for bottle pop.
Yes. Perfect.
Natural cork.
Natural.
Of course.
Well, naturally. Louisville-based distiller Michter's will be releasing its highly acclaimed 10-year Kentucky Straight Rye this June. Well, that brings us up to date. We're right here in June.
We are right here.
It says here, quote, "Rye whiskey has deep roots in American whiskey history," commented Michter's president Joseph J. Magliocco. Quote, "It fell out of favor for most of the 20th century when much of it was used as a blender in other whiskeys. The work of the bartenders and the on-premise community to show how great a good American rye is in cocktails was instrumental in bringing this exceptional whiskey category back." And, when we were there at the distillery, he told us all about that. Mm-hmm. If you wanted a bottle to not sell, all you had to do was put rye on it. They sold more rye to Canadians that didn't want to distill that super sticky, nasty mash.
But how amazing is it, though, that it was the bartending community that finally was like, "Hey guys, this is some great stuff."
Yeah, you just got to know how to use it.
Really turned the tide of the popular opinion.
Yeah, and I'm glad it happened because I am a fan of rye, neat or in a cocktail. Goes on to say here, Michter's releases whiskey according to the flavor profile on specific barrels rather than automatically upon their reaching a certain age. As a result of this protocol, Michter's whiskeys have often been matured longer than the age statement on the label. We've talked about, if we talked about this once, we've talked about it 100 times.
Yep.
The barrels that comprise this release were deemed ready by Michter's master distiller Dan McKee and Michter's master of maturation Andrea Wilson. See here. Wilson observed that Michter's ryes are Kentucky style as opposed to many ryes from other U.S. states. Quote, "One of Michter's defining characteristics for our rye whiskey is the balance of the beautiful baking spice with fresh citrus and floral underpinned by notes of vanilla, caramel, chocolate, and sweet oak."
Chocolate. Ooh.
Right. So, come on, guys. This Kentucky-style rye differs from styles of Indiana and other parts of the U.S. I see what you did there. And it reveals a refined elegance and harmony of flavors. End quote. And goes on here.
Well, let's not forget, too, that Indiana literally is across the bridge.
Oh, it is. Yeah, for whatever reason, I thought.
But yes,
Indiana
I see what they did there.
Was further north than it is. It's just not. It's right
across
there.
Across
the river.
the
92.8 proof, 46.4 alcohol by volume spirit. Michter's 10-year rye is a single barrel whiskey, of course, and it has a suggested retail price of $210 in the U.S. Master Distiller Dan McKee stated, quote, "As someone who enjoys rye, I was excited to taste the barrels for this year's release. The flavor profile is exceptional." So we're going to get into that. It says, in October 2024, Michter's became the first rye whiskey to be named in 2 consecutive years the world's most admired whiskey by a vote of an International Academy of Voters announced by UK-based Drinks International.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah. Michter's has a rich and long legacy of offering traditional American whiskeys of uncompromising quality, with each of its limited production offering aged to its peak maturity. Michter's highly acclaimed portfolio includes bourbon, rye, sour mash whiskey, and American whiskey. And then just for more information about Michter's, please visit Michters.com and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and X, formerly known as Twitter. So that's a really fun letter with lots of great information. I don't know if
Get this on the nose already.
Yeah. Andrea said, one of the Michter's defining characteristics of our rye whiskey is the balance of the beautiful baking spice with fresh citrus and floral underpinned by notes of vanilla, caramel, chocolate, and sweet oak. So we're going to see what we think, Miss Andrea Wilson. We're gonna give this a, oh wow. So yeah, floral notes come through on the nose for sure, and so does that vanilla. I'm not picking up on chocolate.
No, I'm getting a little bit of a milk chocolate.
Are you really?
Just a little undertow of milk chocolate.
All right.
Like straight up milk chocolate Easter bunny. Thank you, Easter bunny.
I have a friend of mine, sixlets, those tiny little, chocolate balls in a straight package. She's like, I like sixlets, but not more than like once a year. Their chocolate tastes like poverty. I've never forgotten that. All right, so floral, there's vanilla, there's milk chocolate. What else are you picking up on the nose? Toffee?
Maybe.
I'm picking up on a citrus.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be. There's orange citrus.
Yeah.
All
citrus
over it.
Zest.
I might even say like an almond, like an orgeat, kind of a almondy.
And are you picking up on any of that oak?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad I'm not crazy.
Nope, not crazy at all today.
Yeah, yesterday was one of those days it felt like my skin wasn't fitting correctly, so I was walking into everything. And today, everything seems to be A-okay.
Well, today we're drinking Michter's 10-year rye.
Yes, sir.
Cheers.
Cheers, Michter's.
There's more chocolate.
Yeah. There's the chocolate.
Oh. Is there a hint of tobacco?
I'm not. Are you picking that up? I'm not.
Just a little bit.
I am picking up on lots of vanilla.
And that actually just going into the finish, that turned into leather. But butterscotch and
usually
toffee.
the butterscotch shows up on their bourbon, especially their 10-year bourbon. So I'm surprised to find it here on the rye.
Oh man.
So you said what showed up on the finish? Leather.
So a little bit of tobacco, but then as it transitioned to the finish, it became more of a leather. There's cinnamon, some nutmeg, brown sugar. I might even say honey too.
Brown sugar and honey.
And when I say honey, I think that's where the underpin of floral notes.
Is like a wildflower,
like
honey?
A wildflower honey. Mm-hmm.
Okay. My mind goes back to what Joe was telling us about how they pick their how they source their wood for the PFG, the precision fine grain.
Michters.
Not the pretty fucking good, but the precision fine grain. How they pick certain trees that grew in a certain area next to a certain river with specific microflora. They harvested the wood, they cut their staves or whatever, they aged it for, was it 48 months or something?
40 months.
40 months, and so like
just air dry for 40 months.
If you missed out on that episode, definitely go check that out. But on this bottle here, the Bomberger's
3 years, 4 months.
3 years, 4 months, and this
before they even mill them down and turn them into barrels.
This is not that, of course. This is a completely different.
But it is a nice sweet oak. I mean, there's
the oak shows up on
all the sweetness is there.
Finish.
I think it turns it into a sweet oak.
And the chocolate came back.
Definitely.
Not the poverty chocolate. And I think there's lovely, light tones of vanilla.
I might even say there's like a confectionery sugar, like a powdered sugar, on the at least mid palate into the finish.
Over on. Okay. Oh, but it was also in the finish. I already scribbled it out. Okay.
This is really, really good.
I don't see how you could go wrong with this.
The last 10 year that we did was the 2023 release.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if there was a 2024 release. We actually got the bottle in 2024.
Yeah, we got the 2023 in 2024.
But I don't remember if there was a 2024 release of the rye.
If there was, we missed it.
Yeah.
But
the bottle that we got was the 2023.
But
release.
Michter's is known, like we said, for
I think this might be better.
for pulling the whiskey when it's ready, not at a certain age. Like okay, and they've missed years before.
Well, supposedly
because of it. When it's just if it's just not ready, they're just not going to pull it
and
bottle it.
Supposedly that 2023, it's a 10-year rye, but supposedly it's 14 plus.
This drink's further down the road than 10 for sure. I mean, for me.
Oh yeah.
For me, I'd put it at 15 plus. I'd be surprised if it was less than 14. I'd be surprised if it was less than 14 and a half. I mean, this is it's 14 and a half plus, I think.
Pardon me.
Yeah, you are pardoned.
Because we got to get some water drops on there, right?
Yep. We'd like to throw a couple drops of water in our pour just to see how it turns out. Because sometimes
it opens up some new elements.
Yeah, different things show up on the nose, the palate, and the finish, and you just don't know until you do it. Now, like we said, we're only putting drops in there. What'd you put in? 3?
3. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just don't know what it is that's going to happen.
It's wild what a couple drops of water can really do
and it's a couple
to nose
of drops.
and palate.
It's not half an ice cube like I used to do it. It's not, a tip of water in there.
Nope.
It's nowhere near that. It's just a few drops, and it can completely change the whole character of your pour.
So real quick before we try this with the drops of water,
what do you got?
The tasting notes that they have for the 2025 release,
let's see where we lined up.
Is deep notes of vanilla and toffee, toasted almonds, and cinnamon with an ample dose of crushed pepper and a hint of orange citrus.
Crushed pepper. I didn't pick up on pepper. Huh. You know what? Usually with ryes, I do pick up on pepper, like the peppery pepper, like black pepper spice or maybe white pepper spice, and like we'll talk about that tongue bite, the rye bite, that you get on the tongue. It's not exactly
this
proof heat, but it's a heat on the palate.
It's very very noticeably a rye, but there's no rye bite, there's no rye burn, there's no rye. There's some spice there, but it doesn't pinch and
maybe
bite
it's because the proof is lower down there at 92.8.
92.8. Yeah.
Come on. I mean, this is easy sipper all day, every day. Oh, floral. Mm-hmm. The floral, for lack of a better term, bloomed when we added 3 drops in there.
Honey showed up a little bit more prevalent. And I think chocolate opened up.
Definitely. All that.
It's not a dark
oak.
chocolate. It is a milk chocolate.
And oak.
And yep.
That honey, the baking spices like the cinnamon and nutmeg, like you said. I'm still not picking up on the tobacco and the leather. Whatever. That's my palate.
Those kind of pushed back a little bit with the couple drops of water, but.
You think it's better at the original proof?
I think it's better any way you want to drink it.
Right. This,
I think.
God, and now that nose evolved to straight butterscotch. Mm-hmm. It's
Speaking of nose, what did you give it on the nose?
Fuck, I gave it pardon the French. I gave it a 5 because right off the bat it was a hard wow. It wasn't just you're like, oh wow. It was like wow. I mean, all kinds of stuff. We picked up on the floral, the vanilla, milk chocolate, toffee, citrus zest, orange zest. I should write orange.
I mean, it's mind blowing. It is. Mm-hmm. It's incredible. Michter seems to keep one-upping themselves. I mean, we set the bar high with some of our previous reviews, but I think they came through again. I gave it a 5 on the nose.
Yeah,
this nose is really, really that good. It's incredible.
It really is. And for me, palate, chocolate, vanilla, tobacco, butterscotch, cinnamon, nutmeg, brown sugar, honey, powdered sugar. Some of these things went off into the finish as well. But still, it was a 5. It was an easy 5 for me.
On the palate?
Easy, yeah, on the palate. How about you?
Girl?
Really?
Guess what?
I'm guessing it's going to go very similarly to how it's always been with these.
I mean,
these 10 years.
I am finding myself trying really hard to be a lot more discerning.
Yes.
And being a lot more critical.
Yes.
About my thoughts and about my opinions, and really
dig in and look for something to bitch about.
And I really find myself trying to find something to
latch onto, something to critique.
But there's nothing there. There's
nothing.
I love nothing about it. I mean,
there's nothing. Nothing.
I mean, the positives.
It's amazing.
So outweigh any chance of anything that would bring the score down. It's fantastic.
It's that good.
It is
that good.
fantastic.
And it's a rye. And when you started your whiskey journey, you were like, no rye for me, thank you.
Well, when I started my whiskey journey, I was nowhere close to even knowing what this was, let alone having this. And here we are.
Yeah. Here we are. Over, 250 bottles in.
It is good to be alive.
It is. Where are we at here? Nose, palate. Finish. You said the tobacco transitioned into leather. The vanilla carried through. My
finish
chocolate
is still going.
The finish is still going.
I'm still enjoying this minutes after the fact. There's nothing that scalds. It is the proper, nice, warm Kentucky hug. You get a little bit of a. It's not even a pinch. You just get a little bit of a squeeze right back here.
Yeah.
And to let you know that it's there, and it kind of elevates the temperature just a little bit, like a wool blanket.
Yes.
Like a scarf.
Yeah. So that brings us into the score on the finish. We talked about all that stuff, and there it is, and how lovely is it? And I gave it a 5.
I kept mine at 5.
You kept yours at 5? How could you not give it a 5 when you have a pour of a whiskey and it makes you appreciate the fact that you're alive?
Yeah, I mean,
how are you not going to give it a 5 on the finish?
This is so good. It resonates with just how sought after the Michter's 10 years bourbon and rye are.
It's appropriately sought after.
It is a very hard to find, very sought after, world's most admired whiskeys.
Twice in a row.
And the rye specifically twice in a row.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right. Get out of here.
This 2025 is nowhere short of that, if not probably a pinch better.
Yeah, it's a little step above. And so that brings us to the bottle presentation. Bottle presentation has not changed since the other Michter's 10 years that we've gotten ourselves into. Sometimes they come with a little neck tag. Sometimes they don't. They've always got the wax dip. They've got a nice natural cork.
And don't forget, after we got past the bubble wrap, it had some fishnets on.
It did. It was wearing fishnets when we brought her out of there. Just like the leg lamp, where it said Fragile. It could be Italian. It's a major award.
You're wearing the right shirt.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Good times. So yeah, this is an incredible bottle. I like the kind of the rounded, shouldered, tapered flask. A nice thick bottom. The label itself, it's your typical, the green and the kind of
parchment paper,
parchment colored,
kind of tattered and ripped, burnt edge,
highlighted with touches of red here and there.
And you mentioned, the green wax. It's just a class act. You got the little label on the neck with the barrel number. Barrel
number. We got a 25D 1313. If I read that right. My eyesight isn't quite what it was a year ago, come to find out. But good times. So bottle presentation, we talked about being more of a critic, lending a little more critique. Like, why are we giving these bottles a 5? They don't have a box, they don't have a bag. Well, this one had a box and fishnets, and it came full of Cheetos. Like the cheesy poofs.
With stickers on the outside that say Fragile.
Yeah, it's Italian for something. I don't know what. I think it means fragile.
Well, according to Joe, they do source their glass from Italy.
Yeah.
So
The more you know. So
there you go.
So yeah, we've been really trying to niche it down a little bit on our scores as far as bottle presentation goes. And
not today though.
Not today, because that went right out the day window. Because it's a 5 for me. Is it for you? Mm-hmm. It's a 5 for you too.
Yes, sir.
It's a 5 for W2. So if my math is mathing correctly, we both gave it a 10. A 10 out of 10. A 10 out of a possible 10. Guys, if you see this on a shelf somewhere, get it.
Yeah.
You know,
what'd the letter say that the MSRP on?
$210.
$210.
Which is way
so
north.
the bourbon MSRP is $195. This is $210.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I don't either. Maybe we need another crash in the market, to bring the prices back down. But this
no,
this is an incredible pour. The amount of time that they sat on it, they haven't announced how long they sat on it. But we have our guesses. I don't even have a correct theory because I don't have information to base my thoughts upon. But this was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Like you said, I think it was a little bit better than the 2024.
Yep.
Or no, 2023.
Right.
That we got in 2024.
Yep.
It's a whole thing. Well, you know what? Cheers to everybody at Michter's, from the guys on the bottling line to the people that run the front offices, and
to Joe, to Rick,
all the unnamed individuals,
to Tess in New York.
Yeah, everybody involved, anybody from Shively to New York, and in the Chatham distribution centers,
Fort Nelson.
Yeah. Oh, our buddy Nick in Fort Nelson.
Ms. Vicky.
Miss Vicky, how could you? Thank you, Miss Vicky, for that.
Cheers to you again.
And right up to the top, Joe. And Rick and Dan, Andrea, you knocked it out of the park. As a fan of rye, this is amazing. It's probably the best rye I've ever had in my whole 44 years of life. So thank you so much for coming out with this bottle. It's incredible. Thank you, everybody at Michter's. And thank you for watching. Yeah. If you like this episode, please share it with your fellow whiskey enthusiast friends. Yes, we do fangirl over Michter's. But it's for the right reasons. Yeah. If you don't like them, please let us know why you don't like them. Leave us a comment, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X,
or if you do,
or TikTok.
Which is your favorite expression?
Yeah, right. Maybe all you know is the core four. The bourbon, the rye, the sour mash, or the American.
Because honestly, I've become quite partial to the PFG.
Oh. Right. Okay. I thought you were talking about core fours, but yeah, the PFG.
The core fours are great too.
Amazing. But so is that Bomberger's, the 2023, 2024.
We've gotten into the Shanks. We have not gotten into the 2024 Bomberger yet.
Shanks. Sorry, the Shanks was incredible.
You'll just have to stay with us because before too long we are going to break open the 2024 Bomberger.
Yep.
And we might just have to side by side it with the PFG. That may be a little unfair to the 2024.
It's going to make me uncomfortable. Yeah.
Maybe we'll leave the PFG on the shelf that night because
maybe.
The PFG is hard to beat.
So leave us a comment or send us an email, info W2 or Jonathan at savortheburn.com. Check out savortheburn.com for all things Savor the Burn related. Check out the things in the shop. We have our own t-shirts. We have other things coming up, like you see the little boxes over there on the side.
Coming soon.
That's all coming soon.
Yep.
Things we haven't even talked about yet.
You need your own glassware.
Yeah.
We may have it.
At some point, you need it. Is it one of these? No.
I think it's going to be at some point.
At some point, it's going to have to be Nothing Rings Like a Glen. We have yet to find anything that sounds anything
I'm not
like
excited about the cost
not either.
Of getting these, but I think we have to.
Yep.
I really think we have to. It's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt, but it's got to happen.
Oh, it's got to happen.
It's like
absolutely has to happen.
Get a flu shot. But, anyway, so... if you're with us, if you're still with us, thank you for hanging out with us. Definitely share this episode with anybody wanting information on the tasting notes or what people thought about it. It being the Michter's 10-year rye 2025. It's absolutely incredible. We We love it. We can't 10 out of 10 this even higher because, that's our cap. It's at 10. Yep. So no matter who you are, where you are, what you're drinking, and who you're drinking with, never forget.
Keep on burning.
Absolutely incredible.
Wow.
Absolutely incredible.
Wow.